Sometimes I get distracted because I can look back and I can see myself in the camera and I'm like, damn, that's a good looking fella right there. He looks like he's the greatest fisherman in the world. And then I get distracted and I don't pay attention to fishing. So next time I have to put like some tape over it so I can't see myself. So I'd like to thank y'all for joining my first edition of Appalachian Apostle Outdoors. Now, normally I'm out here in my office counting down these amazing top 5 and top 10 lists of things that I think are in my head that y'all should know about. But today, we're getting out of the office. We're taking the masks off. We're getting out of this crazy COVID bullshit, and we're going to the creek where everybody should be. Because if you're in a creek, you're not out there crying about whatever. Now, important thing to remember is wherever the hell the fish are, it's going to be where the people ain't. So if you're like one of those fishermen that likes going to nice, like easy pull-off where everybody else goes, you're not going to catch any fish. You got to go to the most inaccessible place. Now, there's some exceptions to this rule, because like maybe you live in a state where not a lot of people fish. There are jabroni states like that. Good for you, because that means you'll be the only person to fish in hole. For anybody else, if you're in a state where people are fishing, you're going to go where people aren't, because that's where the fish will be. It won't be over the fish. So we're going to be walking down over this hill today, freaking Spider-Man style, and getting it done. Let me show you what it looks like. Now check it out. Here's where we got to go. You look down over the hill there. We got to walk down to the bottom of the hill, out this little ridge, and out to that little outset clearing. Now I told you it wasn't going to be easy to get there. So give me a second. I'm going to walk over this hill like Spider-Man, because that's what I do. Trying to get this done all fleet-footed, as a ninja would. So ready, go. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Now, at this point, if someone was fishing with me and I was guiding and they fell over the hill, I'd laugh at them, because I ain't much for support. I ain't emotional support Joad. I'm catching fish Joad. If you want to fish like the Appalachian Apostle, what I mean by fish is be successful fishing. I like to use my bait caster. It's got a 30-pound braid on it. Said I'm using a steel leader on that just because sometimes I hook muskie. And I like to be prepared so I can get a muskie in. I have gotten a 45-inch muskie in on this pole. It's a medium light Shakespeare agility. I ain't much into super fancy equipment. Should always take a net. You gotta have some sweet hip waders. I use hip waders that go to about my hip. See why they're called hip waders? Because if you're gonna be a Sears Creek ninja, you gotta kind of start stalking in. These ones are actually ones they use for like duck hunting and stuff. Good little set of pliers. You should have your pocket knife. I take this little buck knife with me. Make sure your buck knife or your pocket knife is made in the USA, or it's just some jabroni crap. I also make sure I carry my 357 with me. Bear, coyotes, jabronis out here. Sometimes you might pull out your wheel gun. Now, I know some of you guys like carry them plastic pistols, pea shooters around them, plastic pea shooters and stuff, because they're all high-tech and shit. Nah, we're just going to use a wheel gun. Got my bandolero with all my shells on it. You can't reload this real quick because it's single action, so make sure your 6 count. But then after that, problem is, y'all got them little pea shooters. Well, I got this and I can use it as a hammer. Bam, jabronis. Take some. So let's get some bass now. Now you know what you need. A couple lures. I like to use polarized glasses so I can see the freaking fish. If you don't use polarized glasses, you're stupid. You should go get some at Walmart. You can get them for like 10 bucks. These are expensive ones, but you know, you can get yourself a cheap pair that if you drop in a creek you don't really care about. Pretty much all you need. And a fishing license. Don't be legal. Don't be one of these poacher jabronious people. You want to make sure you're legal and all that stuff. And once you do that, you can all get started. I also recommend you get some Red Man Chew. You got to put a good dip in. That helps it get going. You might want to get your Red Man before all the liberals start crying and be offended by my chewing tobacco, because God knows that's a very important issue. They should be fishing. If you're fishing, you don't got time to cry and complain and whine all the time. So shh, we don't need none of that. Let me enjoy my damn chew, son. Damn. You get your first dip in. Got my pole ready to get some of these little critters, all right? Oh, there we go. There we go. Guys, watch that. All right. We got our first bass right here. what we got is, it's about, if you hold it up to the Joad thing, looking about 15 inches. I can tell by my sonic hoodoo, this is probably about 1.5 pounds. Nice little smallmouth. Goal is to get these critters back in the water in a minute. You might say, Joad, how do you know? Where'd you come up with that figure in a minute? Well, I figured the Appalachian apostle can hold his breath for 1 minute. So if I can hold my breath for a minute, so can this bass. So we got ourselves a nice bass here. So we're gonna take it, we're gonna get him back in the water real quick. Booyah! And that's how you do it. I'm the Appalachian apostle, the greatest fisherman in the world. And among the greatest frontmen in all of rock and roll history as well. And if you haven't heard of me, that's your bad, son. Boom. You notice I'm using a steel leader? That's only because this pole doubles as a muskie pole. I put a 45-inch muskie out with this same rig. Not the same lure, but so I like to just have it on there just in case you hook something that you weren't intending to hook. I'll show you a picture of that muskie. We'll pop it up on the screen when Grant edits this shit. You gotta keep the lure moving. If you stop the lure, bass lose interest. They'll probably get a good look at it and be like, that ain't real. And that fish, he's pulling like an alien abduction. He's telling his buddy, he's like, dude, I just got taken by this alien ship with the best looking alien human being I ever seen in my life. He's quite a male specimen. And all his friends, just like we do when alien abductions happen, we're like, yeah, you're full of shit. Biggest problem here is you get some of them eco yuppies coming by in their plastic boats. I don't like them. They've multiplied since this COVID shit hit. The best way to scare them is you just sit around and you go, when they come up, you pull out your 357 and they see a crazy hillbilly with the 357 and they just paddle the fuck away from you fast, and then they do minimum fish scaring. Worst case scenario, you shoot a hole in their stupid plastic boats. I ain't talking about you kayak fishermen, I'm talking about eco yuppies. There we go. Ooh, yeah, first shot. Respect. So we got another about 15-inch one. We can put this one on the scale. Got my little sweet doohickey scale. This one went up on the scale. We got about 1 pound on it. So we're gonna go ahead and round that up. We'll round that up to 2 pounds. Put this fella back in the water, all right? You can serenade these fish too. People saying I'm no good, crazy as the moon. So I get stoned in the morning through my lure in the damn tree. Get your lure in the tree, don't get all freaking worked up. You just gotta be patient and snap it back. Kinda like that old blue tick hound, like to lay around in the shade. I ain't got no money, but I damn sure got it made. Rest in peace, Charlie Daniels. You were a bad motherfucker. In other news, I'm pretty sure that bitch Carol Baskin, she done killed her husband. That one old yo boy on there too, who wore the flat brim hat and all the affliction clothes. He's a J-bro. Talk about Tiger King. Outside the interstate sounds, this is one of my favorite fishing holes because it has a low concentration of crackheads. Sometimes you get to a lake or something, there's a bunch of crackheads down there in Appalachia getting their fix. You gotta go by and bang on their window, tell them to get the hell out. There's not a lot of eco yuppie. It's just a little noisy. I can tolerate noise for big bass, so. Perhaps not the smoothest pull in, but we done got another one. Got it up at forearm. This might be the smallest one yet, but we're still looking at a little 12-inch smallmouth, so enjoy. We're gonna go ahead and get this this little fella back in the water. And that's how it's done. You fish with the Appalachian Apostle, you follow my rules. It's like sex with Bill Cosby. It's gonna happen. You're gonna catch fish, because that's what we do here. Booyah. I'd like to take a second to thank y'all for tuning in to Appalachian Apostle Outdoors. This is my new segment of my YouTube channel for Scattered Hamlet that has Appalachian Apostle. We're going to be doing some outdoor stuff. We're going to be shooting guns, we're going to be fishing, we're going to do all kinds of awesome things we do out here in the country. Now, I'd like to thank out to some of our sponsors, give you all a shout out to 10 and 8 Management, to Dean Guitars, to Diodario, Planet Wave, all these awesome people sponsor yours truly. Keep guitars in my hand, keep fishing poles in my hand, keep some food on the table. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you check out some of my merch I got online now, and you can always go check us out at scatteredhamlet.com. Be out on the road, release some new materials soon. We got an awesome general store. Check it in the links, subscribe, like the channel, tell your friends about it, do all the right things so you can never miss one of these episodes, because if you miss one, that's what jabronis do. Boom.